Good morning, students. This is Vahiniyam of Government Engineering College, Haveri, and welcome to the session number 6 of Module 1, that is Introduction and Analysis of Plane Trusses in the subject Analysis of Determinate Structures for fourth semester, and the subject code is 18CV42. So in the last session we have discussed about the definition of a truss, types of trusses, assumptions made in the analysis of trusses, and the different methods of analysis, that is method of joints and method of sections. So in this session we'll take up the application of method of joints and sections, that is we'll take up the examples on method of joints and method of sections. So in this session we'll solve one example using method of joints and the sections. Okay, so before that we will discuss about the sign convention. What is the sign convention we have to follow in the analysis of plane trusses? So sign convention. So axial force in a member is negative, which implies that the member or the joints at both ends of the member are in compression. Similarly, axial force in a member is positive. It indicates that the member or the joints at both ends of the member are in tension. Okay. So normally how we used to represent the axial and tensile forces. Okay, in your sum we used to represent like this, right? So tensile force will be represented by two outward arrows, that is pulling action, and compressive force is represented by two inward arrows, that is pushing forces. Okay, but in case of the trusses, okay, so how we are going to represent means, you have to, tensile means the joint will be under tension. Okay, so suppose if this is the joint and this member is experiencing tensile force, means the joint has to be represented with the tensile force. So tensile means always the arrow mark should be away. Okay, so this joint is away, so this arrow mark is acting away from the joint. So here also the same thing. So this is how you are going to represent tensile force in a truss member. Okay, similarly compressive force means the joint will be under compression. Okay, so therefore arrow marks should be towards the joint. Okay, in tensile force away from the joint, and for compressive force towards the joint. Okay, so this joint is under compression, similarly this joint is under compression. So therefore this is how you will represent compressive force in a truss member. Okay, so same thing here also. So if this is a joint which is under tension, means you have to write the arrow marks away from the joint. Okay, like this. And if this is the joint under compression, you have to mark the arrow marks towards the joint. Okay, like this you have to represent the member forces, either it may be tensile or compressive. Okay, so next we'll take up the conditions of equilibrium. What are the different conditions of equilibrium? So normally for the calculation of support reactions, we used to apply the three equilibrium conditions, that is sigma fx equals 0, sigma y equals 0, and sigma m equals 0. Whereas while applying the method of joints, okay, so we will be applying only sigma fx equals 0 and sigma fy is equal to 0. Or when we apply the method of sections, we will be using all the three above conditions. Okay, so when we go for solving the problems, we will come to know how to apply the conditions. Okay, so next we will take up an example on method of joints first. Okay, so analyze the truss shown in figure by method of joints. Also check the forces in members DF, DE and CE by method of sections. Tabulate the member forces or represent member forces on the figure. So this is the given problem. So at the end you have to tabulate the forces in the form of a table, or you can represent the member forces in the figure. Okay, we will discuss both now, but in the problem while solving it in the exam you can follow any one. If it is asked to tabulate, you can tabulate it, or if it is asked to represent it in the form, in the table, in the on the figure, you have to learn both the methods. Okay, so this is the given problem, simply supported, but it has some overhanging portion here. Okay, a truss subjected to loading of 20 kilonewton at joint B, 40 at joint C, and 10 at joint G. Okay, so each span is of 3 meter. Okay, and the height of the truss is 2.6 meters. Okay, so as end A is a hinged end, so there will be two reactive components, and end E is a roller, therefore there is a single reaction. Okay, so the first step is to check whether the given problem or given truss is stable and determinate. Okay, so that is stability and determinacy of the structure, so which is calculated by using this equation, m is equal to 2j minus 3. So for this problem the number of members is 11, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 members are there. Okay, and number of joints 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 joints are there. Okay, so if you substitute into 2j minus 3, so 2 into j is 14 minus 3 is 11, so number of members provided is also 11 and required is also 11, hence it becomes a stable and determinate structure. Okay, so this may be calculated in the exam or you can leave it, but for your reference this is how you have to calculate the stability and determinacy of the structure. Okay, so next we'll find the reactions for this truss. Okay, support reactions. So let us apply the first equilibrium condition, that is sigma fx equals 0, so which implies HA is in positive direction and 20 kilonewton is also in positive direction, therefore HA plus 20 is equal to 0, therefore HA is equal to minus 20 kilonewton. Minus indicates that this assumed direction is opposite to the actual direction. Okay, so then we'll apply sigma Fy is equal to 0, so which implies VA vertically upward plus RE, that is also acting in upward direction, minus 40 minus 10, so we don't have any other forces, so that's it. So VA plus RE is equal to 50 kilonewton, so you can take it as equation 1. Next let us apply sigma MA is equal to 0. Take moment of all the forces about A and equate it to 0. So let us apply it one by one. So minus RE, so this RE is inducing anti-clockwise moment about A, therefore minus RE into 6 meter, 3 plus 3 6. Okay, then this 40 is inducing clockwise moment about A, therefore 40 into 3, and then this 10 into again 3 plus, this is also plus, which is going to induce positive moment about A. Okay, clockwise, 10 into 9, 3 plus 3 plus 3, 9 meters. Okay, next we have one more force of 20 kilonewton, 20 into the height of the truss is 2.6 meter. Okay, so the perpendicular distance is 2.6 meter. So this is also inducing clockwise moment about A, therefore plus 20 into 2.6. So from which RE is equal to 43.67 kilonewton. So RE is subjected to a load of 43.67 kilonewton. Hence VA will be equal to, which can be calculated using this equation 1, that is VA plus RE is equal to 50 kilonewton. So from which we can obtain VA as 6.33 kilonewton, that is 50 minus RE. RE is 43.67, therefore 50 minus 43.67 will be 6.33 kilonewton. Okay, so we have found the reactive components. Now we can calculate the net resultant. RA is equal to root of VA square plus HA square. VA is 6.33 whole square minus 20 whole square, so that gives a reaction of 20.97 kilonewton, and alpha, that is inclination of RA with respect to horizontal, so that is given by tan inverse of 6.33 divided by 20, so it is at an angle of 17.56 degrees. So it lies in third quadrant, because H is negative means it is in the opposite direction. So HA negative, VA positive, it is in the second quadrant, not in the third. It is negative and positive, it is in second quadrant. Therefore resultant reaction you have to measure it like this, okay, at 17.56 degrees. So that is the calculation of support reactions. So next we will move to find the member forces. Okay, so by using method of joints, we'll first find the forces in all the members. Okay, so this is the given problem. So first, while applying method of joints, what is the first condition? You have to select a joint in such a way that there are not more than 2 unknowns. The unknown should not be more than 2. Okay, so if you look into the figure, either you can select joint A or you can select joint G. Okay, you can proceed from any way. Okay, so here also 2 unknowns are there at joint G, as well as at A also 2 unknowns are there. Okay, we can select any of these 2. Okay, so first we will move from left to right. So let us consider FBD of joint A. Okay, so FBD means it is an isolated diagram which shows actions and reactions. Okay, so to draw the FBD diagram, let us draw an virtual cut around this joint A. Okay, so now we can write the free body diagram of joint A like this. So this is A and here is joint C. Therefore this we will write it as force in member AC. AC is the member and F indicates force. Okay, force in member AC and this is force in member AB. This is HA of 20 kilonewton. Okay, and VA is 6.33 kilonewton. So AB is at an angle of 60 degree with respect to horizontal. Okay, so we can look into this free body diagram. It is a concurrent force system. Okay, so we can apply sigma Fx equals 0 and sigma Fy is equal to 0. Okay, so to apply those equilibrium conditions, we have to resolve this inclined force along X and Y directions. What are the resolved components? Okay, so FAB is making an angle of 60 degree with respect to horizontal. Therefore horizontal component is cos. Okay, FAB cos 60 and vertical component is FAB sin 60. Okay, so now let us apply sigma Fx equals 0. So that implies minus HA. HA is acting in the negative X direction. Therefore minus HA plus FAC plus FAB cos 60. Okay, we have ordered all the forces along the X direction. Okay, so HA value is 20. So minus 20 plus FAC plus FAB cos 60. So if you rearrange it, it will be FAC plus FAB cos 60 is equal to 20. So if you take this minus 20 outside, it will be plus 20. Okay, you can take it as equation 2. Okay, next let us apply sigma Fy is equal to 0. So which implies VA acting in upward direction plus FAB sin 60. Okay, so VA value is 6.33 plus FAB sin 60. So from which we can obtain the value of FAB. So FAB sin 60 is equal to minus 6.33. Okay, so therefore FAB is equal to minus 6.33 divided by sin 60. So that gives a value of minus 7.31 kilonewton. Okay, so minus indicates what? It is under compression. Initially we have assumed that, so for all the starting, okay, we will assume that all members are in tension. Okay, so therefore we have assumed the arrow marks outwards away from this joint. Okay, so but FAB is minus 7.31 means it is under tension. Okay, sorry, it is under compression. Okay, so using this FAB value, let us substitute into equation 2. So from equation 2, which is equal to FAC plus FAB cos 60 is equal to 20. So FAB is minus 7.31. Therefore FAC minus 7.31 cos 60 is equal to 20. So if you simplify it, so that gives FAC as 23.65 kilonewton plus. Okay, if you this is minus, if you take it outside it will be plus 3.65. Therefore force in member AC is 23.65 kilonewton. So this is a positive term. Positive means the assumed direction is correct. That means FAC is under tension. Okay, so that is under tension, whereas FAB is under compression. Okay, so next, after obtaining the forces in these two members, we have to move to the next joint. Which joint we have to select? Either we can select joint B or we can select joint C. Okay, but you have to check whether there are two unknowns or less than two. Not, it should not be more than two. That is the condition. Okay, so if you select joint C, so this force in this member is known, but forces along these three members will be unknown. Therefore you cannot select joint C. So next option is joint B. So force in this member is known and remaining two are unknown. Therefore we can go for selecting joint B. Okay, so next we'll go for, this is the given problem, we'll select the joint B. Okay, so let us mark an imaginary cut around joint B so that we can draw the FBD. So this dotted line you need not show in your examination. This is just for your clarification how we have drawn the free body diagram. Okay, so directly when you come to know how to draw the free body diagram, you can draw it directly. No need to show these imaginary cuts. Okay, so this is the free body diagram of joint B. Okay, BD member is there, so hence force in that is FBD. Okay, we have got BC member, so force in that is BC, FBC, and we have a member BA, so force in BA, FBA. Okay, apart from that we have got one horizontal force of 20 kilonewton, so this is 20 kilonewton. Okay, so to apply the conditions of equilibrium, we have to resolve the inclined forces. Okay, along x and y directions. So these are the resolved components of FBC. So FBC is making an angle of 60 degree with respect to horizontal. Therefore x component is FBC cos 60 and y component is FBC sin 60. So this force is in fourth quadrant. Therefore x is positive, y is negative. So now we will resolve this FBA. So it is in third quadrant. So this FBA is making an angle 60 degree with respect to horizontal. Therefore horizontal component is FBA cos 60 and vertical component is FBA sin 60. So this is in third quadrant. Therefore x component is negative and y component is also negative. So we know that from the previous joint we have obtained FAB as minus 7.31. So FAB is nothing but FBA. So therefore we can take that value FBA as minus 7.31 kilonewton. Okay. So now we will apply sigma Fx equals 0. So which implies 20. This is plus x along the plus x direction. Therefore plus 20 plus FBD. Okay. And then plus FBC cos 60 and then minus FBA cos 60. That is equal to 0. So let us substitute the value of FBA. So 20 plus FBD plus FBC cos 60 minus of minus 7.31. FBA is minus 7.31. Okay, so minus of minus 7.31 cos 60. So if you simplify it, it will be FBD plus FBC cos 60, that is equal to minus 23.65. Okay, so this is plus and this will be also plus, therefore it will be minus 23.65. You can take it as equation 3. Okay, now let us apply sigma Fy equals 0. So that implies minus FBC sin 60 downwards, therefore minus, and minus FBA sin 60, both are in the downward direction, that is equal to 0. Okay, so we know the value of FBA. Let us substitute it. Minus FBC sin 60 minus of minus 7.31 sin 60. So therefore, to simplify it, minus FBC sin 60 plus 7.31 sin 60 equals 0. Hence, if you simplify it, sin 60 will get cancelled. Therefore, FBC is equal to 7.31 kilonewton tensile. Positive means tensile. Okay. So this is negative, this is positive, therefore it will have a positive value. So using this FBC, we'll substitute back into equation 3. That is, from equation 3, we have this equation FBD plus FBC cos 60 is equal to minus 23.65. So let us substitute FBC. FBD plus FBC 7.31 cos 60, that is equal to minus 23.65. If you take it outside, again it will be a minus term. Therefore, FBD is equal to minus 27.3 kilonewton. Minus indicates it is under compression. Okay. So that is the joint B. Okay. So now we have applied at A, applied at B. Okay. So after applying equilibrium conditions at joint B, okay, so we have found forces in member BD and BC. So now we can move to joint C or joint D. So if you go to joint D, you know force in member BD, but we have 3 unknown forces. Okay, so therefore we cannot opt joint B. So next we have left with joint C. So forces in member AC and BC are known. So the remaining unknowns are CD and CE. Hence we can select joint C. Okay, so to draw the free body diagram, therefore consider joint C. Consider an imaginary cut around joint C so that we can draw the free body diagram. Okay, so consider all the forces as tensile initially. Okay, so angles made by FCD with respect to horizontal is 60, CB with respect to horizontal is 60. Okay, so let us resolve these inclined forces along X and Y directions. FCD is making 60 degree with respect to horizontal, therefore X component is FCD cos 60 and Y component is FCD sin 60, and it is in first quadrant, therefore X positive, Y positive. Next, if you resolve FCB, so CB is at an angle 60 degree with respect to horizontal, therefore X component is cos FCB cos 60 and Y component is FCB sin 60. Okay, so it is in second quadrant, therefore X negative, Y positive. Okay, now we have resolved forces, all inclined forces. Now we can apply sigma Fx equals 0. So we know that force in member CB is 7.31 kilonewton. Okay, so now we can apply, and also force in member AC is 23.65 kilonewton. Okay, now we can apply this sigma Fx equals 0, so which implies FCE, this is along X direction, therefore FCE plus FCE minus FAC, okay, and then plus FCD cos 60 minus FCB cos 60. Okay, so you know the forces of CB and AC, so let us substitute them. So FCE, AC is minus 23.65 and then CB is 7.31. So if you let us substitute those values into this one, FCE minus 23.65 plus FCD cos 60 minus 7.31 cos 60, that is equal to 0. So if you simplify it, FCE plus FCD cos 60, that is equal to 27.3 kilonewton. You can take it as equation 4. Next, let us apply sigma Fy equals 0. So that implies FCD sin 60 plus FCB sin 60 minus 40, that is equal to 0. So FCD sin 60 plus CB is 7.31, 7.31 sin 60 minus 40 equals 0. So that gives FCD sin 60 is equal to 33.67. Okay, so if you simplify it, you will get FCD as 38.87 kilonewton. Plus means it is under tension. Okay, FCD is under tension. So using this FCD, so let us substitute back into equation 4. Therefore from equation 4 we have FCE plus FCD cos 60, that is equal to 27.3 kilonewton. Therefore FCE plus FCD is 38.87 cos 60, that is equal to 27.3. Therefore FC is equal to 7.86 kilonewton. Positive means tensile. So it is not a mandatory to that you have to always apply sigma Fx equals 0 first and then you have to apply sigma Fy is equal to 0. It is not like straight away. You can first apply sigma Fy so that you will get FCD, and you can next in the next when you apply sigma Fx equals 0 you will get FCE. So this computational time you can reduce. Okay, so just decide how many unknowns are there in equation. If there is one unknown, so you can try that equation first. Okay, either it may be fy or it may be fx. Okay, it is not mandatory that you have to apply sigma fx equals 0 first and then sigma fy is equal to 0. It is not like that. You can apply sigma fy and then you can apply sigma fx. Okay, so that is joint C. Okay, so after joint C we have found forces in member CE and CD. Next, which joint you have to consider, E or D? Okay, so if you select joint D, BD is known, CD is known, the remaining unknowns are DE and DF. So there are two unknowns are there. If you select joint E, only one force E is known, all other remaining three are unknown. Therefore you cannot select joint E, you have to select joint D. Okay, so in the next slide we will take up joint D. Consider FBD of joint D. So to draw the FBD, consider this imaginary cut. Draw the free body diagram of joint D. Okay, so FDF, FDB, FDC and FDE. Okay, so DE and DC are at an angle 60 degree with respect to horizontal. Okay, so now we will resolve those inclined forces. DE, FDE cos 60 along x direction, FDE sin 60 along y direction. Next, DC, if you resolve it, FDC cos 60 along x direction, FDC sin 60 along y direction. This is in fourth quadrant, x positive, y negative, and this is in third quadrant, both are negative. Okay, so now we can apply. Before that, we know that force in member DC is 38.87 kilonewton and that of DB is minus 27.3 kilonewton. So now we can apply sigma fx equals 0. So which implies FDF minus FDB plus FDE cos 60 minus FDC cos 60. Okay, substitute DF, FDF minus of FDB is minus 27. So minus of minus 27.3 plus FDE cos 60 and DC is 38.87 cos 60 minus 38.87 cos 60. So if you simplify it, FDF plus FDE cos 60 is equal to minus 7.86. Take it as equation 5. Next, let us apply sigma Fy equals 0. So that implies minus FDE sin 60 minus FDC sin 60, that is equal to 0. You know the value of DC. So minus FDE sin 60 minus DC is minus 38.87 sin 60, that is equal to 0. So from which you can obtain FDE as minus 38.87 kilonewton. Minus indicates it is under compression. Okay. So we will substitute back into equation 5. Therefore from equation 5, the equation 5 is FDF plus FDE cos 60, that is equal to minus 7.86. Substitute FDF plus FDE is minus 38.87 cos 60, that is equal to minus 7.86. So to simplify it, FDF is equal to 11.57 kilonewton. Positive means it is under tension. Okay. So now we have applied at joint D. So from which we have found forces in members DF and DE. So the remaining forces in members are EF, FG and GE. Okay. If you consider this joint E, okay, so then you can find force in member EF and EG. Or if you consider joint, only two unknowns are there, you can go for joint E, or else you can go for joint F, wherein you know force in member DF and the remaining two are unknown. Okay, either you can go for F or you can go for E. Okay. So for the simplicity, if you consider joint E, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 members are meeting apart from this reaction. Okay, whereas if you consider joint F, only 3 members are meeting. So hence the computation will be reduced if you consider joint F. Therefore let us consider joint F. Okay, draw this imaginary cut around joint F. to draw the free body diagram, this is the free body diagram. FD and then FEF, FE and then FFG. These are at 60 degrees to horizontal, and these are the resolved components of FG cos 60 and FG sin 60. It is in fourth quadrant. And FFE, same, FFE cos 60 and FFE sin 60. It is in third quadrant. Okay. So we know that force in FD is 11.57 kilonewton. So now we can apply sigma Fx equals 0. So which implies minus FFD minus FFG cos 60 and then plus minus FFE cos 60 and then plus FFG cos 60. Minus FFD plus FFG cos 60 minus FFE cos 60. So if you simplify it, minus 11.57 plus FFG cos 60 minus FFE cos 60. So therefore FFG cos 60 minus FFE cos 60 is equal to 11.57. You can take it as equation 6. Next we will apply sigma Fy equals 0. So that implies minus FFG sin 60 minus FFE sin 60, that is equal to 0. Therefore solving equations 5 and 6. So two simultaneous equations are there. So we can solve two simultaneous equations. Okay. So Fg is the first unknown. So you have to write the same Fg in the second equation as well. Okay. So then if you solve those two simultaneous equations, then Fg is equal to 11.57 kilonewton tensile. Positive means tensile, and Fe is equal to minus 11.57 kilonewton. Minus means compressive. Okay. So now we have found forces in Fe and Fg. Only we have been left with member Eg or Fge. Okay. So to find force in member Eg or Ge, either you have to select joint E or you have to select joint G. Okay. So to avoid the complication, let us consider joint G. Okay. Consider joint G. Draw the free body in imaginary cut so that we can draw the free body diagram. This is the free body diagram at G, GE, FGE and FGF, and one downward force of 10 kilonewton. Okay. So resolve this inclined force FGF cos 60, FGF sin 60. It is in second quadrant, x negative, y positive. Okay. So FGF we have computed it from the previous joint, that is equal to 11.57 kilonewton. 11.57 kilonewton. And now we will apply sigma Fx equals 0. So that implies minus FGE minus FGF cos 60. So that will be minus FGE minus 11.57 cos 60, that is equal to 0. Fg is positive. Okay. So minus, here in equation we have minus. So if you simplify it, Fg is equal to minus 5.78 kilonewton. Minus means compression. Okay. And then we will apply sigma Fy equals 0. So as a cross check, only the unknown was Gf. So now we have found it, Ge. Okay. So as a cross check, we will apply sigma Fy. Okay. Fgf sin 60 minus 10 is equal to 0. So that gives 11.57 sin 60 minus 10. So that will be 0. Hence, whatever the calculation we have made, that is correct. For a check, either you can select this another joint to apply sigma Fx equals 0 and sigma Fy equals 0. So if all the computations are correct, those two should hold. That is sigma Fx equation should give 0 and sigma Fy equation should give 0. Okay. As a check, you can consider this joint and you can apply sigma Fx and sigma Fy. You should get 0. If you didn't get it as 0, you have to recheck your calculation. Okay. So this method seems to be very easy, but there are quite chances of making mistakes. Okay. Maybe in substituting plus or minus. Okay. So that is where you make some mistakes, from which the values will be changing. Okay. So now we have found all the forces in all the members by using method of joints. Okay. Next we'll go for method of sections, where we have to find the forces. Means we have to find forces in member CE, DE and DF. Okay. So therefore we have to consider a section in such a way that it cuts the required members DF, DE and CE. Okay, so we will consider a section like this, section 1-1, which cuts the required members. Okay, so either you can consider the right part, left part or the right part. Okay, so if you visualize, in the left part the forces are more, and even you have the section is also lengthy. Okay, whereas if you consider the right part, the section is also lesser and the forces are also less. Therefore we can consider section, this is section 1-1, we can consider the left part to compute the forces in the required members. Okay, so this is the free body diagram of the left section. Okay, so this is 3 meter, height is 2.6 meter. Okay, so the members where this section 1 cuts, only those members have to be considered. You should not consider these members. Okay, the section where the members have been cut, only those members have to be considered with this tensile force. Okay, we will assume they are in tensile. Okay, so now we will resolve this inclined force FED. So it is at 60 degree with respect to horizontal, therefore FED cos 60 is the x component and FED sin 60 is the y component. Okay, now we will apply sigma Fx equals 0, so that gives minus FFD minus FEC and then minus FED cos 60 is equal to 0. Okay, so you can take it as equation 8. Now we will apply sigma Fy equals 0, so that implies only this one is there, FED sin 60 plus 43.67, this is the reaction at E. Okay, then minus 10, from which you can obtain FED is equal to minus 38.87 kilonewton. Okay, minus indicates it is under compression. Next we have to select, to apply sigma m, we have to select such a joint that we can eliminate two unknowns. Okay, so if we select joint E here, okay, wherein two forces are meeting, okay, then moment of these two forces about E will be 0. We can even eliminate this RE also. Okay, only then we will be left with FD and this 10 kilonewton. Okay, therefore we will apply sigma ME is equal to 0. So that implies this FD into 2.6, force into perpendicular distance about E is 2.6 meter, and this is inducing anti-clockwise moment about E, therefore minus FFD into 2.6, and then this 10 kilonewton, 10 into 3 meters. This is inducing positive moment, that is clockwise moment about E, therefore positive. So that implies FD is equal to 11.54 kilonewton. Positive means tensile. Okay, so we have obtained ED and FD. Now we can substitute back into equation 8. So from equation 8, this is minus FFD minus FEC minus FED cos 60, that is equal to 0. So that implies minus 11.54 minus FEC minus of minus 38.87 cos 60. So from which you can get FEC as 7.89 kilonewton. Plus means it is under tension. Okay, either you can apply these three equations in a section, or you can apply moment at different points, so to obtain the required unknowns. Okay, so we will take that one also. We can follow, I will show you how to do that one as well. Okay, you can follow this one or this one. Okay, let us apply sigma ME is equal to 0. The same equation holds good here as well. So from which we have obtained FED is equal to 11.54. Okay, so next, to eliminate two unknowns, okay, we have considered joint E. Next, these three are the unknowns. Okay, next we have eliminated these two forces and we have found FD. Okay, next if you consider joint D, this one, okay, we can eliminate DE and DF, then we can find force in member CE. Okay, so we will take the moment about D is equal to 0. So about D means only this force will be there and these two will be joining at this point, so that moment of those two will be eliminated. So this force, reaction and this 10 kilonewton, we have to consider those three. Okay, so if you write it FEC into 2.6, so this FEC, force in member EC, and this vertical height is 2.6. So it is inducing again clockwise moment about D, therefore positive. Okay, then this reaction 43.67, so it is inducing anti-clockwise moment about D, 43.67 into this perpendicular distance. Since it is a equilateral triangle, so if this is 3 meter, so it will be midway, so that will be 1.5 meter. 43.67 into 1.5. Next we will consider this 10 kilonewton. 10 kilonewton about D, again it is inducing clockwise. Okay, so 10 into 3 plus 1.5, 4.5 meter, that is equal to 0, from which you can get FEC as 7.88 kilonewton. So this is 89 and this is 88. Okay, so both are same. Okay, so next either you can apply this equation to obtain FED, or you can consider where you need, which one you need, ED. ED is this one. Okay, so to obtain that you can consider moment at F is equal to 0, any point. Okay, so then we can find ED. Okay, or else you can apply sigma Fy is equal to 0. So we have already calculated it, so directly we will write it as FED is equal to 38.87 kilonewton minus, which means it is under compression. Okay, so in method of sections either you can apply sigma Fx equals 0, Fy is equal to 0 and sigma m equals 0, or you can apply sigma m at different positions to obtain the required unknowns. Okay, so now we have applied method of joints and method of sections. Now comes is how to tabulate the results. So if you consider the right part, I will show you how to consider the right part as well. So this is the section, free body diagram of right part. Okay, resolve the force FDE, FDE cos 60, FDE sin 60. Now let us apply sigma Fx equals 0, that is FDF plus FCE and then FDE cos 60 plus 20. Here is this horizontal force of 20 and then HM minus 20, that is equal to 0. So therefore that is equation 9. Next if you apply sigma Fy equals 0, so minus FDE sin 60 plus 6.33 minus 40, that is equal to 0, from which FD is equal to minus 38.87 kilonewton. Okay, so that will be same as that of the previous calculation. Okay, next let us apply sigma MD is equal to 0, so that we can eliminate these two. We can obtain force in member CE. So FCE, this is inducing anti-clockwise moment about D, therefore minus FCE into height is 2.6, and then this again inducing anti-clockwise, so 40 into this distance 1.5. okay, then plus 6.3 clockwise, 6.33 into 4.5, and then moment of this 20 about D is 0. Next we have been left with this 20, this is inducing clockwise moment, so 20 into 2.6, that is equal to 0, from which you can obtain FCE as 7.87 kilonewton. Okay, substitute back into equation 9, we can obtain FDF. Okay, so FDF plus 7.87, CE 7.87, and DE is minus 38.87 cos 60. If you simplify it, FDF is 11.56 kilonewton. Similarly, either you can apply moments at different points. So at D, if you apply it, you will get FCE, and then at E, if you apply, you will get FDF as 11.54, and you can try Fy is equal to 0, so that you can get FDE. Okay. So this is what, either you can consider the left part or the right part, you will get the same answer. So you can reduce the computation by selecting a section in such a way that the unknown members as well as the reactive components or applied forces are minimized. Okay, so that you have to keep it in mind. So now we will tabulate the results. First let us tabulate it. So in the first column, the different members of the given truss, and in the second and third column we have mentioned member forces. So in that, again the magnitude and then the nature. Okay, so AB is subjected to minus 7.31, that means compressive force. AC plus 23.65 means tensile force. BC plus 7.31 means tensile force. BD minus 27.3 means compressive force. CD 38.87 means tensile. CE tensile force of 7.86. DE negative 38.87 means compressive force. DF positive means 11.57 kilonewton of tensile force. EF minus 11.57 compressive force. EG minus 5.78 compressive force. FG a tensile force of 11.57. Okay, so this is how you should tabulate the results. Okay, and then how to represent these forces on the figure or on the picture. Okay, how to represent these means, at AB is subjected to a compressive force. Compressive means the joints should be under compression, the arrow mark should be towards the joints like this. So the arrow marks are towards the joints, and you have to mention the magnitude along the member, 7.31 kilonewton. Okay, next AC is subjected to tensile force. This is AC member. Tensile means arrow marks at A and C, they should be away from the joint C. Okay, that means these joints are under tension. Okay, you should mark arrow marks away from joint C. Then you have to write the magnitude 23.65. Okay, next BC, a tensile force of 7.31, same thing, arrow mark should be away from the joints. BC 7.31 kilonewton. Next BD, compressive force of 27.3, compressive, arrow marks should be towards the joints, arrow mark should be towards the joints, and the magnitude is 27.3. Okay, and CD plus 38.87 tensile force. Tensile means arrow mark should be away from the joint, 38.87 kilonewton. Okay, CE tensile force of 7.86 CE, tensile, arrow mark should be away from the joint like this, and the magnitude is 7.87 or 86 kilonewton. Next DE minus 38.87, minus means compressive, arrow mark should be towards the joint, 38.87. Okay, DF tensile force of 11.57, tensile means away from the joint, arrow mark should be away from the joint, 11.57. Okay, EF minus 11.57, EF minus means compressive, arrow mark should be towards the joint, 11.57. EG minus 5.78, EG minus again compressive force, arrow mark should be towards the joints, and FG tensile force of 11.57, arrow mark should be away from the joint. Okay, so this is how you should represent the member forces pictorially. Okay, either you can represent the forces like this or you can tabulate like this. Okay, so that's it for today's session. So in this session we have considered an overhanging beam, okay, not beam, overhanging truss, okay, subjected to different types of loads, and how to apply method of joints and how to apply method of sections to find member forces in some particular members. Okay, Method of joints is preferred when we have to find forces in all the members, and method of section is preferred when we have to find forces in some particular members. Okay, so and also we have learned how to tabulate the given results, obtained results, and also we have come to know how to show the member forces pictorially. Okay, so that is for today's session. In the next session we will take up a cantilever truss, how to analyze a cantilever truss.